everyone, how's it going today? Ready for a fun and quick review? I know you are all going to do awesome, so let's dive right in. To kick things off, we have the oldest continuously inhabited European settlement in the US is St. Augustine. It was founded in 1565 in Florida. On top of being the oldest city, it is also has one of the oldest wooden schoolhouses, which is pretty cool, right? To keep this historical train moving, next we have the Statue of Liberty. That iconic symbol of freedom was actually a gift from France in 1886. It has been standing tall in New York Harbor and has been said to be a representation of the Roman goddess of freedom, Libertas. Now, we will be stepping a little bit further back in time. Well, actually, we're going way back in time. We're going to the ancient times. So, the Greek and Roman civilizations are often considered the birthplace of democracy. They introduced the idea of voting, citizen participation, and public debate. These ideas have had a lasting impact, shaping the way governments operate today. Now let's fast forward to the 20th century. We will be talking about something a little more intense, which is World War I. During the war, soldiers fought in trenches, and the space between them was called no man's land. This was a dangerous and empty area where no one had control. It really showed the harsh conditions that the soldiers had to endure, and that war isn't just about battles, it's about what happens between them as well. Now, shifting gears to another pivotal moment, the US entered World War II after the attack of Pearl Harbor by Japan on December 7th, 1941. This event shocked the nation and pulled America into a global conflict. I cannot imagine how they must have felt. One moment life was normal or as normal as it could be, and the next everything was changing. From global wars to the US government, let's take a closer look. So now we're going to talk about how the US government stays balanced. The system of checks and balances is what ensures that no one branch, executive, legislative, or judicial, gets too much power. It's a safety net or a safeguard that keeps our democracy in check. Think of it as a referee making sure that the game is fair. This is to make sure that, the team isn't cheating or there's no abuse, basically. Now, speaking of fairness and equality, one of the most inspiring movements in US history was the suffragette movement. These incredible women fought hard for the right to vote, and their work paid off when the 19th Amendment was passed here in 1920. It took decades of determination to make that happen. And now we will rewind to the very beginning of American independence. The American Revolution kicked off in 1775, with the first shots being fired at Lexington and Concord. You probably heard it being called the shots heard round the world, and for good reason. That moment sparked the fight for American independence from Britain. Now, from revolutions to reform movements, let's move a bit ahead. The Progressive Era was a time when Americans pushed for change, focusing on fixing the problems caused by industrialization and urbanization. It brought about labor laws, improved working conditions, and expanded rights for many groups. It's a great reminder that change happens when people stand up and fight for it. Now, we will be talking about a different kind of battle. Finally, we've got the Cold War, a period of intense tension between the US and the Soviet Union, which lasted from the end of World War II to the early 1990s. It wasn't fought with weapons or had battlefields on it. It was just with ideas and influence and spending. So the US would spend, and then you know, Soviet Union would spend. And then it kind of became a global chess match, if you will. All right. Well, we've covered a lot today. Great job hanging in there. Keep these facts in mind and you will crush that test. I am super proud of you all.